A haunted doll is a handmade or manufactured doll or stuffed animal that is claimed to be cursed or possessed in some way. Robert is a doll claimed to be possessed by spirits that are on display at the East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida, that was once owned by Key West painter and author Robert Eugene Otto. So in this video, we are going to talk about world's most haunted doll, not Annabelle. The video is going to be amazing, so make sure you stick to the end. The doll originally belonged to Robert Eugene Otto, an artist described as eccentric, who belonged to a prominent Key West family. According to legend, young Otto began to blame mishaps on the doll. While this could have been laughed off as childish storytelling, adults also started noticing odd occurrences, especially as Otto and Robert grew older. As an adult, Otto lived in a stately home he called the Artist House, where Robert could be seen positioned at the upstairs window. School children swore that he would appear and reappear, and they avoided the house. Visitors swore they heard footsteps in the attic and giggling. Some claimed Robert's expression changed when anyone badmouthed Otto in his presence. Rooter said Robert would move around the house on his own, and after 20 years of antics, she donated him to the museum. Museum staff noticed a significant change in the atmosphere soon after Robert went on display. Visitors complained that handheld cameras and electronic devices stopped working whenever they stood near the doll. Their devices began to start working as soon as they moved away from Robert's display case. Eerier still, letters arrived at the museum that were addressed to Robert. The letters were from previous visitors, apologizing for acting rudely to the doll and begging for forgiveness. What exactly happened to these visitors that prompted such a plea? The circumstances remain a mystery. Nevertheless, letters continued to arrive at the museum, where Robert remains on exhibit to this day. In fact, the staff of the Fort East Martello Museum recommends that patrons behave respectfully while in the doll's presence. They even suggest politely introducing yourself just to be on the safe side. Before we move on, support us by hitting subscribe and the bell icon to get notified when we post new videos. Now, let's get back to our topic. Robert might very well be the second or third most famous haunted doll in the world. Why? Because if you're a Chucky fan, a cursory investigation will automatically tell you that Child's Play Knave were in fact inspired by Robert. Robert is the nightmare fuel that spawned the 80s icon. The tale of Robert dates back to the turn of the 20th century, and like any good ghost story or fairy tale, it's full of plot holes, inconsistencies, retellings, exaggerations, and poetic licenses. Each is sinfully delightful in its own way, and each deserves its turn in the limelight. The truth is that no one really knows the definitive tale of Robert. No one is willing to place their hands in the fire and go, "Folks, this is the truth, and everything else is poppycock." The doll was reportedly manufactured by the Steiff Company of Germany, purchased by Otto's grandfather while on a trip to Germany, and given to young Otto as a birthday gift. The doll's sailor suit was likely an outfit that Otto wore as a child. The doll remains stored in the Otto family home on Eaton Street in Key West, while Otto studied art in New York and Paris. Otto married Annette Parker in Paris. The couple returned to the Otto family home in Key West to live there until Otto died in 1974. His wife died 2 years later. After their deaths, the Eaton Street home containing the doll was sold to Myrtle Reuter, who owned it for 20 years until the property was sold to the current owners, who operate it as a guest house. In 1994, the doll was donated to the East Martello Museum in Key West, Florida, where it became a popular tourist attraction. It is annually rotated to the old post office and custom house in October. Young Eugene became inseparable from his doll, which he named Robert, after himself. His parents could often overhear Eugene talking to the doll. They assumed Eugene was changing his voice to make the doll talk back, but eventually they suspected that the doll was actually speaking. Over the years, passersby reported seeing the doll move from window to window. The family caught glimpses of Robert the doll running from room to room, and others claim it emitted a terrifying giggle. When Eugene's parents heard loud noises from his bedroom during the night, they would enter only to hear Eugene say, "Robert did it." Robert was a straw effigy of the boy given to him by his nanny, who hailed from the Bahamas. Gene spent every available minute of his waking life with Robert, but when his owner wasn't around, Robert would get antsy. Servants would hear him walking around the nursery and singing. Years later, when an adult Gene brought home his new wife, Robert turned nasty, appearing in a rocking chair to spook Mrs. Otto. When the pair both died, Robert stayed behind and was given the daughter of the family who moved into the house, but mysterious activity including the suspicious death of the family pet, was blamed on the doll. Donated to the nearby museum, Robert has been known to eat peppermints left in his case overnight. So that's it. Please like, share, and comment your thoughts below if you like this video. Remember to subscribe to see our next video. Stay safe, and we'll be back soon with another video.